John Eustace has revealed a huge update for Derby County fans over the course of the last 24 hours. He completed his pre-match press conference with Dom Dietrich yesterday, discussing the performance from the weekend and also the return from injury for a range of different players. Now, obviously, for Derby County, it was a huge point at the weekend after going behind yet again, with Ben Diaz picking up an unbelievable goal as well. And John Eustace was very, very happy with that point as well. Now, obviously, you can let me know your thoughts on that down in the description. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but let's get into it. Head on over to raffle.com, linked down in the description, so that you can get yourselves into the raffle to win 2 Derby County home tickets or a 2025-26 DCFC kit of your choice. Tickets start at just £1 per ticket, with a range of different bundles available to you, where you can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets to get 10 free, and 15 tickets for 15 free. All you need to do is head on over to Derby County's website, get yourself a fan ID. So if you are the winner of this raffle, I can send you over those tickets, and all you have to do is enter a question just a little bit about Jamie Carragher and what club he played at for his entire career. So if you haven't done so already, head on over to raffle.com, linked in the description, so that you can join the raffle for 2 Derby County home tickets or a 2025-26 DCFC kit of your choice. Now, John Eustace felt as if the changes of the Derby County squad made a positive impact across the course of the game on Saturday, whether that be the 4 that came in, well, the 2 that came in, 2 that dropped out, and then the substitutes that were made within the game. And I, for one, do agree. I think Diaz had his best game for Derby County. I think Patrick Agyemang was very lively from the start as well. Not particularly too keen on the Andy Vyman on the right scenario, but fair enough, it needed to happen. And John Eustace was keen to point out that this is exactly what he means about the squad over 46 games when discussing players like David Ozo, discussing players like Patrick Agyemang, Lars-Jørgen Selvesen. They're all going to be needed at points this season, and that is something which we have to take into consideration. He felt as if the 4 forwards were going very, very attacking for us, and he felt they played very, very well. But what is very important for Derby County over the course of the next few weeks is making sure that they can find that balance within that forward line, and making sure that we can create those goal scoring opportunities and be able to take more chances and make more chances, because I'm not sure how many of you have looked at the underlying data, but ultimately for Derby County, they are very, very poor in the final third at the moment. And do I believe that's something John Eustace is working on? Absolutely. And it's something which we're going to have to wait and see how it develops when we get the return of players like Agyemang playing consistently, Ryan Brewster, Bobby Clark, and all things like that, because we don't know what this team's going to look like once everybody is fully fit. Now, John Eustace did turn around and say that he won't be able to play 4 forwards all the time, but it is something that he does want to incorporate into his team so they're able to hit the top level of performance. Now, obviously, you can let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments. Obviously, I don't particularly think it was a front 4, if I'm completely honest, but obviously, some people see it differently. John Eustace does believe that it was great work from the squad at the weekend to come from behind, show that character and that determination. We all know the poor refereeing decision that was made early on in the game, and obviously Agyemang missed that chance after about 15-20 seconds, which we necessarily don't want to see many of those anyway. Now, we have some very, very good footballers with Patrick Agyemang and Carlton Morris, according to that of John Eustace, and I don't disagree. And he says that they're a huge threat, Patrick Agyemang and Carlton Morris playing together and being in that forward line. But he says it's very important that we acknowledge that they are also very, very good footballers. So we need to be able to go through them more. We need to pass the ball through the lines into their feet and let them use the ball as well, rather than just having them there to finish chances, essentially. And that's something which John Eustace is keen to work on over the course of the next few weeks. Now, Dom Dietrich had a conversation with Carlton Morris about his time at Luton Town and during their promotion season, where they were in a very, very similar spot to how Derby County are now, with just 1 win in the opening 6 or 7 games. And obviously they went on to go up, if I remember rightly, it was through the playoffs. And there's no reason why Derby County still can't make a playoff push during this season and still can't be dark horses. because I certainly do believe they are. Now, Colton Murray says that he enjoys playing up front with Patrick Adjumang, and they're enjoying the partnership that is being built together, and John Eustace is keen to keep an eye on that as well. And John Eustace was keen to point out again that it's key not to panic, key to stay calm after these early games. And the most important thing is that Derby County are going to be judged on where they finish at the end of the season. They're not going to be judged where they are on the 29th of September. They're going to be judged on where they are on the 6th of May, for example. I think that's the final game of the season. It's going to be huge to see where Derby County do end up. But the most important thing is working hard and continuing to show that the club are working hard and continuing to show that they're growing and growing and growing as each game plays. Now, obviously, you can let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. I think it's a little bit of a catch-22, if I'm completely honest, because you can work as hard as you want, but as we saw under Paul Warne, eventually it does get a little bit too tiresome. He says that having 3 games in a week is very helpful. It opens up the opportunities for everybody to play, but obviously for Derby County, those players that are out injured aren't really going to be available. We'll get into that in just a moment's time. Langas played a full 90 today, and will be back after the international break. Could be involved on Saturday, but ultimately John Eustace doesn't want to rush Langas back into the squad, which I completely agree with. There's no point in rushing him. I think Clark and Sanderson have done very, very well in the back 3 and in the back 4. I think Fozzie was good at the weekend. I think Johnston was good at the weekend. So I don't necessarily think we've got to force him back in quickly, if I'm completely honest. Now, John Eustace says that having a fully fit squad means that everyone can have an impact and there can be a lot of changes, and we're not really going to have that until after the international break, but he's enjoying the challenge of what Derby County is showing. Now, John Eustace went on to discuss Charlton Athletic. He said they've started well. They're a team that have been together for a long time, that we know as Derby County fans they have been. We played a lot of these players when we were in League One with Charlton Athletic. It's going to be a difficult game at home. It's going to be a difficult game in general. Charlton aren't going to be a pushover. They're sitting in the top half of the division at the moment for a reason. Now, John Eustace was keen to point out that Blackett Taylor and Owen Beck will not be available for the next 2 games, but will definitely be back after the break unless they obviously have a setback. And in terms of Ryan Brewster, they are obviously aiming for Southampton, but he thinks it's going to come a little bit too soon, which is obviously disappointing news, really, in terms of Ryan Brewster, because I think when he got into the squad, I think he was arguably one of our best players. Now, you can obviously let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments, but I think once you add Corey Blackett-Taylor, Owen Beck, Ryan Brewster, Sondre Langas to this Derby County squad, I think we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Now, you can let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. Check out the raffle and the Discord down in the description, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye, guys. Head on over to raffle.com, linked down in the description, so that you can get yourselves into the raffle to win 2 Derby County home tickets or a 2025-26 DCFC kit of your choice. Tickets start at just £1 per ticket, with a range of different bundles available to you, where you can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets to get 10 free, and 15 tickets for 15 free. All you need to do is head on over to Derby County's website, get yourself a fan ID. So if you are the winner of this raffle, I can send you over those tickets, and all you have to do is enter a question just a little bit about Jamie Carragher and what club he played at for his entire career. So if you haven't done so already, head on over to raffle.com, linked in the description, so that you can join the raffle for 2 Derby County home tickets or a 2025-26 DCFC kit of your choice.